When will they realize that their efforts are just ambiguous in terms of trying to take down Donald Trump? Not only did RFK Jr. try to sabotage today's event, but Donald Trump, amidst all of that, made history. Not only that, he did what Joe Biden refused to do.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you very much, everybody, and thank you, Angela, for that introduction. And I am truly honored to be invited here tonight as the first president in American history to address the Libertarian National Convention. Great honor. A lot of people ask why I came to speak at this Libertarian Convention, and you know, it's an interesting question, isn't it? But we're going to have a lot of fun. Well, in the last year, I've been indicted by the government on 91 different things. So if I wasn't a libertarian before, I sure as hell am a libertarian now. And unlike Joe Biden, I don't throw people in jail for disagreeing with me. I don't do that.
You see that? The man is willing to go in front of a crowd, mixed crowd, obviously. There was some boos, there was some cheers, but he's willing to go into a crowd that dominantly does not like him. That dominates the room. You got more people in there that's like, hey, I ain't rocking with Trump, yada, yada. But instead of him running away from it, instead of him trying to beat around the bush, he goes right to the heart of the people. And I gotta applaud him for that, because Trump wants to engage with us Americans. I truly believe that. Wow. On the other end, it's a little divisive. And on top of that, he deserves a round of applause for, you know, how do I say that? I don't want to say bullying, roasting the libertarians back.
Think of this. First time in U.S. history that a presidential candidate of a rival party will address the convention of a party that is presumably gathering to nominate its own candidate. Now I think you should nominate me, or at least vote for me, and we should win together.
Setting up there like a boss.
You heard those words. Nominate me or vote. Vote for me. Because the libertarians want to vote for me, and most of them will.
Now watch what he says next.
Important.
Watch what he says next.
Because we have to get rid of the worst president in history, and together we will. And without it, there's a risk that we could have 4 more years, we won't have a country left. So what is the purpose of the Libertarian Party getting 3%? What is the reason to take a chance of having this horrible president destroy our country, which he will do in far less than 4 years? It's not going to take 4 years. That is why I'm committing to you tonight that I will put a libertarian in my cabinet and also libertarians in senior posts. Pretty good. That's pretty big. Or you can keep going the way you have for the last long decades and get your 3% and meet again, get another 3%. No, you want to make yourself winners. It's time to be winners. You have a lot of common sense. It's time to be a winner.
Can't wait to see how the legacy media chops this up and edits it. And I can't wait to see the narrative. I mean, that definitely was some booze there. But prior to this, we heard about RFK Jr.'s attempts to sabotage this event. He was giving out chickens or ducks or something like that. He's the duck in this situation. Anyhow, he was giving out that, I guess, you know, to have them disturb Donald Trump. Excuse me, coming to speak. And Donald Trump stood up to the task. He walked up there, head up high, chest still up, like, hey, look, y'all vote for me. Forget what y'all talking about. And on top of that, think about this, man, honestly. Do you think Joe Biden has the gall or the guts to do something like this? Come on, he wants to debate to be closed, not open to the public whatsoever. But this man, Trump,
the Libertarian Party should nominate Trump for President of the United States. Whoa. That's nice. That's nice. Only if you want to win. Only if you want to win. Maybe you don't want to win. Maybe you don't want to win. Thank you, D-Roy. Thank you. No, only do that if you want to win. If you want to lose, don't do that. Keep getting your 3% every 4 years. The reasons for doing so, policy and politics, are as solid as the Hope Diamond.
this man practically went off on them, man. Right today, you get your 3%. You know, you can stick with it. You can continue to go through the hardships that you've been going through for decades. But Donald Trump, man, he stood up there, like I said, proud. And on top of that, he went there to, it don't seem like he was trying to beg them to nominate him. It don't seem like that at all. He was just literally saying, hey, if you want to win, come this way. If you want to continue doing what you're doing, sure, go for it. He's a businessman. He's there to negotiate. He ain't there to beg for their endorsement. And I think that a lot of people will walk away from that convention with a great deal of respect, because all these attempts have failed. He's the first president in American history to speak at the Libertarian Convention. Dog, get this man. He got some big cojones, man. However, prior to Trump's arrival, there was some hate.
A lot to teach Donald Trump. We don't know if he has any capacity to learn. But we must give the benefit of the doubt in all cases. And I think that Donald Trump is, if nothing else, a great source of humor. In any case, we have major differences with him in terms of policies, in terms of the basic premises of libertarianism, which he violated during the COVID regime, which he exacerbated through Operation Warp Speed. Which he continues to complain about and suggest that he just didn't get enough credit for the vaccine. Now listen,
I'm listening.
We don't know all the forces, the deep state forces acting upon a person who stands as the president of the United States.
Right. Probably non-person. People were predicting that Trump would not be able to handle the pressure on that stage. I don't even think I have to respond to homie. He was just pretty much just shooting his shots. You know, he was turning into a comedian up there. But somebody wrote prior to the event, well, that was entertaining. I think the odds of Trump actually speaking now is under 20%. He won't last 5 minutes there. It will be worse to his ego than the UN speech. Now, why do people tend to think that Trump has the ego of a liberal or somebody who reports legacy media? I feel like that's more embarrassing than anything else it is. It's kind of just like somebody saying, oh, bro, yeah, you so weak that you wouldn't be able to stand in front of a crowd of people who disagree with you. This is the whole point of why, you know, the right is much so frustrated with a lot of the dialogue or the discourse on the left, because nobody usually on the left is willing to have civil discourse. Apparently, according to this response that we got here, they're used to seeing somebody feel this type of pressure and walk away. Trump walked in the middle of the fire. So yes, that's a frustration for the people whom are looking at legacy media and things of the nature. It's like, yo, man, y'all think I'm just so weak-minded that I'm not gonna be able to talk? provide civil discourse with people whom I disagree with. Oh, no, that's what you're used to doing. However, Trump did win over some hearts, for sure. I gotta show y'all this clip. Well, where Trump just promised that on day one he will pardon Ross Ulbricht. We'll talk about who he is right after you watch this.
I will commute the sentence of Ross Ulbricht to a sentence of time.
This is Ross Ulbricht. We're going to see the headline from MSN. Y'all know we like reading news that we don't necessarily, from sources that we don't necessarily agree with. That's how we stay freshened and sharp out here. Trump pledges to free Silk Road creator Ross Ulbricht if re-elected. Donald Trump has pledged to commute. Okay, boom. Yeah, so he said that. But who is he? Going to his official freeross.org website right here. It says he's been in prison for nearly 4,000 days since 2013. First-time offender, all nonviolent convictions, 2 life sentences plus 40 years without parole is what he was sentenced to. And he was condemned to die in prison for creating an anonymous e-commerce website called Silk Road. As an entrepreneur passionate about free markets and privacy, he was 26 when he made this site. He was never prosecuted for causing harm or bodily injury, and no victims were named at the trial. Users of Silk Road chose to exchange a variety of goods, both legal and illegal, including drugs, most commonly small amounts of cannabis. Prohibited was anything involuntary that could harm a third party. Ross was not convicted of selling drugs or illegal terms himself, but was held responsible for what others sold on the website. That's the story that I'm only now being made aware of, thanks to this libertarian conviction being held and Donald Trump attending. So salute to Donald Trump for bringing light to this situation. Y'all definitely let me know y'all thoughts and comments down below. But at this point, Trump was just pretty much in their face. I told you, he's not begging nobody, but he's letting them know, look, man, at this point, I'm y'all only hope. Y'all can feel how you want to feel, but the facts are the facts.
Anyone can talk about defending freedom, but I've actually put everything on the line to resist these despots and these stuff. And I stand before you tonight as your best hope of defeating the weaponized Biden and the very evil regime that his people, because it's probably not him because he doesn't know where the hell he is.
I love the way Freedom Piper, Freedom Thinker Inc. actually wrote on Twitter. He said, "Art of the deal. Donald Trump's address to the Libertarian Party this evening was masterful. The room was full of loud RFK disruptors. Trump was greeted with the thunder of boos. He did not back down, but instead acknowledged and pushed through. Trump maintained amazing poise, even a hint of enjoyment of the boos and the chants from the disruptors. His speech was very good, with rise, crescendo, and suspense built in. It was lean but muscular and effectively delivered a lot of key points. Trump did his best sales pitch and showed us why he is the best art of the deal. He gave his resume of accomplishments and asked for the libertarian vote. He responded to the initial boos with a witty quip, saying that you can either vote Trump or you can keep your 3%. And I'm gonna tell you like this. At least he didn't say you ain't black. You don't know whether you're black or not if you wouldn't vote for him.